is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Heat indices hit more than 100 this afternoon, and we aren't catching a break quite yet. Good evening, I'm Jen Lask. A heat advisory remains in effect for central Illinois, and people are trying to find ways to stay safe. Jack Irfin joins us now, and Jack, we've also got some storms that you're going to be watching out for tomorrow, so this seems like a busy weekend for you.
Yeah, Jen, there's always something weather-wise to talk about, it seems like. So for today, as well as for a majority of tomorrow, we are underneath that heat advisory. The good news is McLean, Livingston, Ford, and Iroquois counties have been able to be taken out of that, but as you can see, it still includes a majority of the viewing area because we're still calling for those heat indices to be about 100 to 110. Now, the high temperatures this afternoon didn't look all that impressive. As you can see, that they were in the 90s, the low 90s, but it was the heat index that was the main problem. Now, even right now, many spots still feel pretty close to 90, and that's going to be a problem overnight tonight as our heat index will likely stay in the 80s for a majority of us over the course of the night tonight and by tomorrow morning. So it's going to still feel very steamy for us overnight tonight, and then once again still dealing with that same problem for tomorrow. But Jen, during the full forecast, I'll talk about those chances for storms that we have coming up.
All right, thank you, Jack. And some of the usual relief from warm weather would be cooling centers, but with COVID-19 still going on, it might not be so easy to keep your distance while cooling off. The Urbana Free Library says they're still letting people in who need to cool down, but they need to abide by their social distancing rules. That means only being allowed for 1 hour a day and only being able to sit at computers. But the library says everyone is still welcome to do that.
People are welcome to come for an hour and use those and sit and cool off, or just come in and browse for an hour if they don't want to use the computers.
Under COVID restrictions, the library is only allowed to have around 50 people per floor. The library is open 7 days a week. And in Springfield, they opened a temporary cooling center for the weekend. It's going to be open till 7:30 tomorrow. Now, it can be hard to find reasons to party this year, but HV Neighborhood Transformations is celebrating every weekend for its 40 days of peace and nonviolence. They go to areas that some would call high risk, but this group wouldn't call them that. WCIA 3's Andy Olson shares why.
Champaign's Garden Hills neighborhood has been a place of violence several times over the last few years. But on Saturday, it was home to a party thanks to HV Neighborhood Transformations. It's part of their mission to bring healing and show it can be more than that.
We try to go out and celebrate the communities, right? Celebrate, bring love back to the community. This is anti-violence. This is anti-everything. This is a celebration of us and us bringing love back to us and a true picture of what community looks like.
HVNT calls these communities High Hope. For their 40 days of peace and nonviolence, they're spending every weekend in High Hope neighborhoods trying to flip the script.
It's about the community. This is what it's about. It's only about bringing the community out in a safe place, right? If we meet together like this and we commune amongst each other like this, we ensure that we're in a safe place. It gives us a better opportunity to dialogue with the community, figure out what the neighborhoods and the community needs, and try to fulfill those needs or find someone that can.
Because of the pandemic, the parties are all about wearing masks and sanitizing your hands. The get-togethers have your usual things like music and food. They also have booths for filling out the census and information on legal resources. The hope is that High Hope turns into realized hope and a stronger neighborhood bond.
Long term, we want to partner with the community, partner with the parents of the children, partner with the teachers, partner even with the police, right? If we can find a way to get together and partner to bring a better understanding to the community, better resources to the community, which brings a better outcome to these communities that we call High Hope.
In Champaign, Andy Olson, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
HVNT also has resources during the week for people in the area, and they have daily discussions on financial literacy, violence education, and a day to understand trauma and what it can do to a community. The 40 Days of Peace and Nonviolence will keep going through July and into August. They have upcoming celebrations at the Scottswood Prairie Green Rainbow neighborhood, King Park, and the Hessel West Side neighborhood. The American flag was lowered on Capitol Hill today to honor civil rights icon and U.S. Representative John Lewis, who has died at the age of 80. CBS's Nancy Cortez gives us a look back at the unforgettable life and contributions of Lewis.
We're marching to our state capitol.
John Lewis secured his place in history by the time he was 21, a freedom rider who risked his life on buses and at lunch counters to push for desegregation.
We do not
want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.
Lewis helped to organize the March on Washington and was the youngest speaker that day in 1963. 2 years later, he collided with history again while leading a peaceful march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama.
This is an unlawful assembly.
The brutal crackdown on Edmund Pettus Bridge came to be known as Bloody Sunday.
I was the first person to be hit. I thought I was going to down this bridge.
In 1986, Atlanta elected Lewis to the U.S. Congress, where he remained devoted to the principles of nonviolent protest, boycotting 2 presidential inaugurations, and organizing a sit-in on the House floor to fight for gun control legislation.
I met Rosa Parks in 1957 when I was 17. 1958, I met Dr. King. And these 2 individuals inspired me to get in trouble. And I've been getting in good trouble, necessary trouble ever since.
He crusaded for voting rights until the end.
The bill is passed.
And was a driving force behind the African American History Museum, which now sits on the National Mall. Throughout it all, he remained a happy warrior. Arrested 45 times, he said he smiled in some mugshots because he knew he was on the right side of history.
When people tell me nothing has changed, I just feel like saying, come and walk in my shoes.
Last month, he visited the new Black Lives Matter Plaza, 1 block from the White House.
It's for removing.
A movement inspired in part by his bravery half a century ago. Here on Capitol Hill, Lewis was often referred to as the conscience of Congress. Leaders are now trying to determine how best to bid farewell to this legendary figure. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Chicago police say they arrested a dozen people after a large rally in Grant Park yesterday at the Christopher Columbus statue. The protest started as a peaceful rally downtown, but when it reached the statue, hundreds rushed towards it, trying to take it down. Police say some demonstrators threw fireworks, cans, and rocks at them. In turn, they used batons and pepper spray. Police say 18 officers were hurt and 4 other people were as well. Meanwhile, all of the statues and portraits around the Capitol are being reevaluated after the call for the statue of Stephen Douglas to come down. University of Illinois Springfield professor and Lincoln historian Graham Peck is a Douglas expert. He says there is no doubt that Douglas was a racist. Peck also says that while Douglas's history is complicated, getting rid of the statue wouldn't get rid of his impact.
If you destroy a statue, what you're destroying is the historical landscape. You are not destroying the history. Those things often get confused. We should be very clear about the distinction. So the history of Stephen A. Douglas is not going to change if the statue is taken down.
Lawmakers are expecting to vote on removing a portrait of Douglas in the House of Representatives in November. Police say a teen was hit by a car this afternoon. It happened near the intersection of West Springfield Avenue and Kenwood Road around noon. Police blocked off westbound lanes on Springfield as they responded, and witnesses tell us the teen had been riding a bike when he was hit. One says it was heartbreaking to see.
I seen his family run out here. One of his uncles stopped. People were just trying to help him, you know, like there was really nothing we could do by the time he was already on the ground. I just remember him, like they were trying to get him to be on the stretcher and everything. He was just running in and out of consciousness. And it was really sad.
Police say the teen was taken to a hospital. No word on his condition. They aren't giving the driver a ticket at this time. Illinois public health officials announced a record 46,099 COVID-19 tests reported in Illinois in the last 24 hours. In all, they confirmed 1,276 new cases of coronavirus and 18 additional deaths. That brings the total to more than 160,000 cases in the state, including 7,290 deaths. U of I is reversing its decision to close accessible rooms at one of its dorms for the fall semester. University officials announced earlier this week it would close Beckwith Residential Support Services for the fall semester because the school couldn't recruit and train additional specialized staff to safely reopen due to COVID-19. It would have meant about 20 rooms on the first floor of Nugent Hall wouldn't be available. But after thousands signed a petition, U of I sent an email yesterday saying students with disabilities will be able to live in the ADA-compliant rooms on that first floor.
just seeing how the student body from all different classes, even alumni, come together in support of this was a really amazing feeling.
A lot of times in my experience, people want to help you, but they don't know how, and so when they start supporting you, it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that to get as many views as it did.
Beckwith Residential Support Services still will not be included, but more information about resources will be expected this upcoming week. Each year, people raise thousands of dollars for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Runners in Central Illinois aren't letting the pandemic stop them from reaching their goal again this year. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Cook has more.
Many are familiar with the run, but not how it started. Something that began so small has left a lasting impact on children's lives.
There was a group of police officers that wanted to do something to raise money, and so they were like, why don't we go down to Memphis and run back to Peoria? So it has grown tremendously over the years.
It takes a total of 4 days to run from Memphis to Peoria. Teams from Decatur usually join along for the stretch reaching Peoria. Each person is required to raise $1,000.
Online donations, cash locations, or cash donations. Some people write letters to their family and friends. Just try to be as unique as possible and just raise as much as we possibly can for them.
The event looked a little different this year due to COVID, with runners tallying up miles in their own towns. Runner Leah Durbin has been running for 4 years and says the kids make it all worth it.
They're lining the, the ramp, and they're just cheering and yelling, and we're like, we should be the ones cheering for you, because you're the true heroes. And, so just seeing that experience makes it all worth it and wanting to come back every single year.
In Ivesdale, I'm Gabrielle Cook, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Donations help ensure that families never have to worry about a bill when visiting St. Jude. We have an update for you after Goodrich Quality Theaters filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier this year. A real estate group based out of New York will be teaming up with VIP Cinemas to manage and operate 22 GQT theaters. The company owns theaters in 5 states, but only one of the 4 locations in Illinois is listed as reopening under this plan, Peoria. No word yet on what will happen to the other theaters, including Savoy. And Visit Champaign County is releasing a new shirt to spread Champaign and Urbana pride and help COVID relief. The group decided to start the T-shirt line because they felt like there was a lack of shirts representing the cities. They also saw this as an opportunity to help the cities, and proceeds from the latest shirt will go to the Champaign County COVID Relief Fund. Here's a picture of the new design showing a map of Champaign, Urbana with Campus Town and that eye in the middle.
We wanted to really recognize just how dense our community is, and the best way to do that was through art. So we worked with one of the artists that already had a design on there, David Michael Moore. He's a local illustrator, and we identified some of those places that we thought are, the things that we love to do as a community.
This is the 5th shirt in the line to be released, and they plan to add more in the future. And it's a perfect day for that type of T-shirt, too, with this weather.
Yeah, Jen, it's been obviously a very warm day today, so the T-shirt was definitely the way to go. We're going to need more of that for the day tomorrow as well, since our temperatures will be once again right around the low 90s like it was today. But we're also calling for the dew points to be high, causing those high heat index values. Now, for tomorrow, it'll be humid again, but we are looking at the chances for some pop-up storms to maybe help with that heat a little bit, and then more storms are expected later on in the week, which we'll talk about next.